After spending the day with the Mercedes S600 Maybach, I've fallen in love with the car. But no car is perfect, so here are some things I hate about the Mercedes Maybach. First off, the interior is almost no different than a Mercedes S550. In fact, if you spec an S550 out to about 125, 130K, you can make it look identical. You get the high-end Burmeister sound system, you can get similar quilted leather, of course it doesn't say V12 on it. You can also get the executive rear seat package, so the seats recline like they do here, and you can also get rear entertainment screens. So from an interior perspective, despite the 8 inches more of rear legroom, the cars look identical. And that's 130 grand versus this one is 191 with no options on it. Second, on the outside, I don't think they differentiated it enough from a normal S-Class. Now, the normal S-Class is a brilliant vehicle, but the Maybach is supposed to represent the pinnacle of luxury and be a competitor in a sense, although they've priced it much lower, so I'm not sure they're targeting directly something like a Ghost or a Molesane. However, it should stand out more than it does. The front end looks exactly like the S550 without the sports package, which actually is kind of ugly, and the rear end looks identical as well. The only indication is the V12 badge on the side. It looks much longer from the side, and the wheel options. Compared to what the 57S and 62S looked like in the mid-2000s, the new S600 Maybach is a bit bland. Now, this is a prettier car than either of those, but it doesn't have that jaw-dropping curb appeal that the older models did. Some colors would really help with that. If they offered two-tone paint, if they had some color options that were similar to Salamanca blue or sapphire blue on a Rolls-Royce, then I think they'd be able to up their game, as well as maybe a refreshed front and rear end. And I think they should have used the Maybach logo on the front instead of the Mercedes badge. Now, I believe Mercedes is trying to improve their own brand reputation. Maybach didn't sell very well in the last generation, so I can see why they're trying to combine the two names. However, if they want to compete in the upper echelon, I think they should make it more distinct and place a Maybach badge on the front as well. There aren't enough options on this vehicle. When you're spending $200,000, you want to have some bespoke options to customize it and make it your own. In the back, you've got a $1,900 executive rear seating package. Not sure why they didn't get it on this. It gives you 2 seats in the back instead of 3, but it looks a lot cooler. It also comes with heated and cooled cup holders. You've got a refrigerator box that you can get, as well as $3,100 champagne flutes. But other than that, you can't really do anything to make this car your own. The leather patterns aren't even unique to Maybach. They look basically exactly the same as the lower trims if you spec them up. There needs to be more bespoke options like Bentley and Rolls-Royce. Different carpet types, different unique stitch patterns, maybe engravings. The name, Mercedes Maybach S600. It is a mouthful. When you're explaining to somebody on the street what car it is, it would be much easier to just say that it is a Maybach, but that's not the case because Mercedes wants their name associated with the brand. I think it would have done a lot for this car in terms of sales if they just referred to it as a Maybach. It's more of a status symbol, and when you're paying $200,000, as crazy as it is, I think people would prefer to have the Maybach as a standalone name than having Mercedes attached to that. This car is every bit as beautiful in the inside as Bentley's and Rolls-Royce. However, Mercedes doesn't have the name recognition that Rolls does in the luxury market. However, Maybach does. So just cut out the Mercedes and rename it. There is so much potential with the Maybach. Now, they are apparently coming out with the Pullman, which is going to be $1 million car with rear-facing seats, and it's going to be incredible. But as of now, and later on, when there's no in-between model, they don't really have something that truly competes with a Ghost or a Phantom or a Molesane. It would be awesome if they had a car that you could spec up to $300,000-$400,000, and I'm sure that Mercedes would crush Rolls and Bentley in terms of sales. Just the design language here in the base model Maybach is already, in my opinion, sexier and sleeker than a Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce uses beautiful materials and it's all great quality, but from a visual and aesthetic standpoint, I prefer the Mercedes. If they had more options, maybe even a longer version and bits and pieces that could add up to make this car a true competitor to something like the Phantom, I'm sure it would do well, and I'd love to see that on the road. Well, with that, I do love this vehicle very, very much. It is absolutely incredible to both drive and ride in. I hope you found this video informative. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.